Y'all, hey, welcome back to my channel. Thanks so much for stopping by. Y'all, we've been talking for a while about doing a list of tips and tricks for the Libby app, and guess what? Today we're gonna do that. So before we get into that, y'all go ahead and like this video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and hit that notification bell so you can keep up with the shenanigans. I'm gonna jump over onto my phone, get my Libby app fired up, and we're gonna jump straight in because we got a lot to talk about. Now, if you don't know what the Libby app is, I'm about to change your life. So the Libby app, or Libby, is an app that allows you to check out e-versions of books from your library. And it works with the Overdrive website. It's like the app version of Overdrive. So if you don't have the Libby app, go on ahead and download it on your phone and let's get started. So I'm gonna jump into my Libby app and I'm gonna start recording my phone screen. And hopefully this is gonna work because pretty much everything that I wanna show you is in the Libby app on my phone. So I'm gonna open Libby. And the first thing let's talk about, first of all, is this felon that's already getting antsy. She literally just moved not at all. Oh no, she laid down, so I have my notes here. She just laid where I had my notes laying. So anyway, the first thing let's talk about is how to add a library card. So I'm gonna go to this middle, like 3 little stripes here and touch that, and that's all of your settings are in there. So you can see I've got my library cards already in here, but to add a library card, all you do is go to Add Library, you hit that little plus, and you see at the top it says search. You just search, I don't know, let's say I want to find the New York Public Library. There's the New York Public Library. Now, I don't live in New York. I got no business with the New York Public Library, but if you do, just click on the New York Public Library and you can either, I think, I haven't done this with the Libby app, but I'm pretty sure that if you have like rights to get a library card, you can either get it through the app or you can get your card and add your card to the app. And that's what I've done, is gotten my card through the library websites or like gone to the library, depending on which library it is, gotten my card and then signed my card into the Libby app. So I'm gonna get out of the New York Library app because like I said, I ain't got no business there. I'm gonna go back into just plain old menus, and Sharon, who is one of my supporters over on Patreon, thank you, friend. And y'all, a bunch of questions that I have come from, I made a video over on Patreon to let folks know that this video was coming up and to see what questions they had. So Sharon asked about, she is in Australia, which I think they say Australia over there, but I'm American, so I hit that U and say Australia anyway. I believe she's in Australia and is having trouble adding library cards to her Libby. And girl, I have looked and looked, and I can't find anywhere on the interwebs that tells me the difference between your Libby and my Libby. So if our Libbies are the same, all you have to do, and y'all, this is what we have to do in the States, to add, so like once you get your library card in, if you want to add another library, like another card, you just hit Add Library, search, and just add another card. So you do all of that in here, or let's say you have a card to the Arrowhead library system, and let's say your youngin' also has a card to that library system. So you hit, I think is it Manage Cards? Yeah, so you see I have Arrowhead Library System highlighted. If I hit Manage Cards, it allows me to add a card. So let's say I have a card, I need to get the intern, well, I guess I don't. I was gonna say I need to get the intern to get a card so I can check out more books, but I only have, you can see right there, I only have 2 of my books used, so I need to settle down is what I need to do. But anyway, like let's say you have a card and your youngin' has a card and you want your youngin' to actually like check out their own books and manage their own life, you can add their card here. So you can add multiple cards under the same library, and you can add multiple libraries. You can see I have the, y'all don't need to worry about what libraries I have, but I have 3 libraries listed here. So when I look for a book, let's just search for a book real quick. I don't know, what do we want to search for? Let's search for Beartown. I should look for something that I should look for something that libraries aren't necessarily going to have, because what they do is, well, you can see here, The Bear and the Nightingale. I was going to put in Beartown, but I know y'all would be like, can we not always look for Beartown everywhere? No, we can't not always look for Beartown everywhere. Y'all quit being snarky. But if you have more than one library card listed in your Libby app, when you search, it'll search all of your libraries. You know what? Let's do this. I know what let's do. Let's search for, is it Big Beautiful Life? There we go. Great Big Beautiful Life. So this is the new Emily Henry book. And it'll search, it's going to be like, there's going to be a wait list for this book at all of my libraries, but I can look at the libraries and see which one has the shortest. So this one has a several month wait. And it'll do this for you. I think if I just tell it, if I just put it on hold, which I'm not, I mean, I'll do it, but I'm going to take it off because I own it in all its forms. I don't think I have the Audible of it yet, but anyway. So if I place the hold, we're going to go through holds in a minute, but yeah, they're all several months. But yeah, so it'll check all of the libraries, and if one of them is shorter, it'll go to that one. Or like if one of them actually has the book, it'll let you, like it'll allow you to borrow the book from that library. So it'll search all of your libraries for whatever book you're looking for. So that's that. While we're on that, let's go to my Arrowhead library. And Amy over on Patreon asked me about, so some libraries have different features. Mine, all of mine, and they might all do this, have this available now thing. So hang on, let me slow my roll. So I'm just going to pick one of my libraries. Let's go into the Forsyth County Library. And see down here at the bottom, that little, where it says library, this is my library's main page. And on this, so I can go to any of my library's main pages. That's Forsyth County's. Here's Broward County's. See how they're a little bit different, but mostly the same? Well, we'll just stay at Broward County's because that's down the beach. See available now right there? If I click that, this is going to show me items that are available now. So let's say you're like, ugh, I just need something to read. You can go into the available nows and you can tell it, so this is books, audiobooks, and magazines. If I just want to see books, see they're up there at the top? I just hit books in the search and it's just giving me books that are available now. There's some good books that are available now. And I can borrow it right now, which I'm really not going to do. Now, some libraries have a lucky day feature. None of mine do, so I can't show it to you, but it'll be right there, like where my available now is. There'll be a lucky day. Oh, what does random do? I guess it just shows you random books. I cannot with the randomness. That makes my brain itch, but the lucky day feature, so that's like available now, but I think it's only like more current releases. So see if your libraries have that, and if so, just check it every once in a while, because you might get lucky and come across like a recently released, like a popular, not that these books aren't popular, but a like really popular now book that they just decided to put on their like get it today, like be lucky and get it today list. All right, so while we're doing this, let's talk about searching. So you see down at the bottom the little, I'm pointing with my finger, like all you're going to be seeing is my phone screen that I'm recording, but I'm such a creature of habit. So hit the magnifying glass and you get the search feature. So you can search for a book. Let's search for, I don't know, I need a book that my library is likely not going to have. How about, if you're looking for a book and your library doesn't have it, like I know because I tried to teach these books, if I search Great Battles for Boys, nothing. But if I hit that little like funnel looking thing and I go to deep search, It shows me all the great battles for boys. Now, my libraries don't have them, but I can hit notify me, and it'll notify me when the library gets the books. Now here's where this is good. If you know a new book is coming out and your library doesn't have it, but you want to be one of the first ones notified when they get it, so you can get on the hold list early to get the book, do a deep search, tell them to notify you when they get the book, and get your name on the list to get it as soon as it comes out. Deep search, y'all. Okay, so that's Lucky Day and deep search. Let's talk about a couple of other ways to find content. Check out, if you go back to your library's homepage, Libby lets you check out magazines. So let me see, I think it's on all of my libraries. Yeah, if you scroll down under guides, right there are magazines. So I'm just going to grab road trips, click open magazine, and you can just flip right through it like you're looking at a magazine right there on your phone. And then you can click in, get the article view, you can change how you see it. So there's lots of different sort of controls you have within the magazine, but yeah, you can check out magazines. I think that's pretty cool. You can also, hang on, watch when I get out of here. So I'm gonna tell it I'm done. I'm gonna back out, now watch. When I back out, it's gonna ask if I wanna keep this issue. I'm gonna tell it, no, not this time, thank you. And look right here, I can subscribe. So, and I'm not gonna be subscribing to a bunch of magazines, but you can subscribe to the magazine and Libby will let you know when the next issue, when the next issue of the magazine is available. So that's pretty cool. You can also, while we're here on the library's homepage, check out your libraries will have curated lists. Now, a lot of times they're going to be different based on the library and where it is, like Broward County's in Florida, so of course a lot of their lists have like beachy reads kind of stuff, but a lot of times these are a good place to find books that you wouldn't normally read. Caught Up, that's on my hold list. We'll talk about holds in a minute. But yeah, so check out your library's curated lists. A lot of times, yeah, it's just cool stuff to scroll through. While we're scrolling, let's talk about audiobooks. We just scrolled by audiobooks. Libby lets you check out, so you can find books, you can find magazines and audiobooks. And y'all, these are the legit like performed audiobooks. It's not like having Alexa read you your Kindle book where, I mean, it's okay, but it's not like performed. These are like the legit performers, like the ones that you would buy from Audible or whatever. So like you can see right here, this is an Audible book. Not an Audible, sorry, an audio book. And here's how you can tell. See how it has the little earbuds right there? That's how you know. So to find audiobooks, let's go back to search. See audiobooks up here? Click audiobooks. And if you want to find all of the audiobooks of like a specific genre, so now I'm in audiobooks. If I click this little funnel, my format is audiobooks. I can scroll down, see subjects, and I can pick whatever subject I want to see all the audiobooks in. Let's say I want to see all the horror audiobooks, but let's say I want to listen to an audiobook right now. I can go back up and click Available Now. And it's going to show me only horror audiobooks that are available right now. And let's say I want to borrow this book. I can borrow it I can either do 14 days or 7 days if I think I'm going to listen to it right now and just be done with it. Ooh, I got to show y'all something cute about that. But the other thing about audiobooks, and I'm going to show you on a book that I already have. Or you know what, that's all right, let's go ahead and borrow this book. So let's borrow. Now we have it, let's open. And
until November, but still simmering
look, you can see I already have it. You can change the speed.
Dry dirt, but left the stink of ozone hot on its breath. Any minute now, and the sky would open. But she'd be done digging long before then. Pie-palmed swept away, wicked the moisture on her dress, and wrenched the shovel free. She could do without the throb in her joints and the aches in her...
So there's that. And now, watch this. I wonder if it'll do it on this one. Let's see. Manage loan. Return early. Watch. See the little flowers right there? Because I'm returning it early. I get a little flower shower. So that happens whenever you return books early. You can get yourself a little flower shower. I was going to show y'all that later, but it just worked out just now. Okay, so that's audiobooks. I think that's all we needed to talk about those. All right, sorry y'all. Some felons needed a comfort break. We did a little fruit basket turnover with our seating arrangement. So I'm not sure exactly where we were. I don't know if we talked about, hang on, let me restart my screen recording. I don't know if we talked about how you can sample things before you check them out. Let's say I'm in my library and I look at this Susan Mallory book and I'm like, wonder if I want to read that book. Well, I can read a little sample of it before I put it on hold or check it out. Come here, Felon. Before I commit to the whole thing, I can read a few pages. And you can do this with ebooks or audiobooks. So that's kind of nice. Kind of keeps you, especially if you're putting things on hold, you can do it with, hang on, let me go to my hold shelf. You can do it with books that you're putting on hold too. So before you commit to putting something on hold for like a month and waiting for it, you can check it and make sure that it's something you're going to want to, I almost said going to want to watch. No, something that you're going to want to like wait for to read. So keep that in mind. You can filter your searches, and look, you can pin filters like books. For instance, if you want to pin, see how there's that little pin there now? So now when I do searches, books is going to automatically be one of the filters that comes up in my searches. So I'm going to unpin that because that's too much of a commitment for me. But you can do that like if you want to pin, I think you can do like available now. I think you can pin. So that if you want to only ever see, yeah, see you can pin that filter. So that you only ever see books that are available now, which I definitely don't want to do that. But so you can pin filters to sort of control what comes up in your searches. And one more thing about searches and we're going to move on. You can use quotation marks. Like if I do, y'all ignore that. If I do like beach house, it's going to search and give me everything with beach and house. See, I'm still in beach house here, but look, when I start getting down here, now it's just like house, then it's going to give me like everything with beach, and now it's going to start getting into some sketchy stuff. But if I use quotation marks, y'all remember that from like high school, you learned about Boolean, is it Boolean, whatever it is, search parameters. Now it should only give me, now everybody wants to go back to where they were sitting when we first started. Welcome to my world. Now it should only give me actual beach house as my search term. So you can use quotation marks to limit your searches. All right, let's talk about holds. Again, y'all, I don't know where I left off before, I'm sorry. So let's just get in to holds and talk about holds. So Joanne, who is a great supporter and has been for a while, and I appreciate you very much, my friend, asked about holds. Asked what happens if you put a book on hold and then by the time it comes up, you don't want it anymore. It's a great question. One of your options when your holds come up, dog just fell on me, is, so I don't have anything coming up right away, unfortunately, but you can always hit manage hold. And when your book comes up for checkout, you can cancel your hold. See right there, I can cancel my hold. I am not canceling this hold, but you can cancel your hold, or when it comes up for checkout, you can, and I can't remember the exact verbiage, but it's something about like delay checkout or something, and you can put it off. You can check it out like, I think it gives you like a week, 2 weeks. You can do it by weeks and up to like, I don't know. I can't remember, I feel like it's long though. Like you can delay it for a while to check it out. So you can do that when it comes up for checkout. But there are other things you can also do to sort of manage your holds along the way. Like you can see it right there, suspend hold. So if you got a book on hold, like I have this Dungeons and Drama on hold, which I'm a little bit excited about, I'm not gonna lie, but let's say it's coming up and it's like coming quicker than I thought, I can suspend my hold. And you see right there, it lets you suspend it for certain amounts of time. So I can tell it how long to like delay it for. So I can do that by the book, like by each book, go through and like if just that one is coming up too quickly, or let's say I've just started reading, I don't know, Babel or something, which maybe I have, and it's going a little slowly and it's gonna take me longer than I thought to read it. And I'm like, okay, I have all these books on hold. They're gonna start coming up. I'm gonna have, once a book comes due, I say comes due, like once the hold comes up and it's time to check it out, you have 3 days to check it out before it like goes back in general, like in Gen Pop. So what you can do is, if you go into actions, you can suspend all your holds. So you can either suspend your holds one at a time, or you can suspend all your holds. So just like put the whole thing in suspended animation and they just stop. Like mine are 4 weeks, 6 weeks, 11 weeks, 12 weeks, and 17 weeks. Y'all, that's like long enough to like, kittens take less time than that to like gestate. Anyway, I know that's random, but I can suspend all of those and it'll stop right at, a hummingbird just came up and it looks like I need to make them some food. It freezes all of those times right there, and then I can unsuspend it and then the time just starts right where it was. So you can do that, and look, I can sort by newest. I went ahead and returned that, y'all remember that Emily Henry book that we had on hold while I was outside with the furry felons? I went ahead and released that. So you can sort these by newest, like the one that you put on hold most recently, or the way that I like to see them is which one's coming up next. So you can have it by expected next. That's my favorite. I think that's all we need to know about holds. So something else we can do. Y'all, it is easy to become a hold hoarder, because you see a book you want to read and you're like, oh, I'm gonna hold that, and I'm gonna hold that, and I'm gonna hold that, and then things start coming due all at the same time and you're like, I cannot read all these books. I know, here's what you need to know. There's something else you can do instead of being a hold hoarder. Learn to tag. Here's how we do that. So let's just pick a book. I'm not gonna pick Love Warrior, that just seems weird. How about Nicked? So I see this book and I'm like, oh, that looks really interesting, but right now I just can't. I literally cannot right now. So I'm going to just tag it TBR. And look down, see down here across the bottom, we'll talk about these in a little minute, but I have a tag shelf. And if I go to my tag shelf and go to my TBR books, Nicked is now on my TBR shelf. So if in like 3 weeks, I'm like, oh, I'm finally done with all that reading. Now I can go back and like find a book to read. I just go to my TBR shelf and go, oh, look, Nicked is still there and I never did read that. I'm gonna read it now. And so it's just sitting there on my TBR shelf waiting to be read. So, and you can make whatever kind of tags you want. If you go into actions up here at the top and hit new tag, you can tag any old books any kind of way you want. So if you're the kind that just goes through and like scrolls, like just looks through books, and you're like, oh, there's a cool mystery, there's one that Joan might like, there's like Furry Felon Bo would love this book. You can go through and tag those books and have like tags for all of those things, and then you can go back and see the books that you've tagged. I think that's super cool. It's a very cool way to organize books, and it keeps you from having to remember stuff. That's the best part of it. All right, let's talk about this. I'm going to go ahead and borrow this book so that I can show you how easy it is to read with Kindle. When I borrow books, I almost exclusively send them to my Kindle to read. So now I can open it just on my Kindle and read it like a normal Kindle book. And if I send a book to my Libby book to be read on, like to read on my Kindle, my Alexa sees it as just a normal old Kindle book. So Alexa will read it to me. So I can make it like a free Audible book or a free audio book by having Alexa read it to me from my Kindle app in my phone, which is pretty slick. Also, let me show y'all this. I mean, I can kind of show you this. I can send it, hang on, I'm gonna have to think while I'm doing this. So I have to do this on the I don't think I don't know how to do this from my app, but if you have littles and you're checking out books for your littles and they have like kids' Kindles and you want to be able to send Libby books to their kids' Kindles, but you want to kind of manage it from your Libby, that's super easy too. So I don't know that you can do it from the Kindle app like on your phone, but all I did was log into Amazon on my phone. I did it through the, what's it called? The Safari app. And so I'm going to go to Accounts and Lists and go to Content Library. And I'm going to go to my books. And there's Nicked. That's that book we just checked out. So I can kind of show y'all how to do this. Well, okay, hang on. Let's get there. So that's the book, right? So it's showing up in my digital content or whatever. If I go to see more, feed me see more. If I go to manage family library, that's going to give me, so like if you have kiddos in your family library, they're going to be listed there. And you can send the book to your kiddo in your family library there. I don't have like Furry Felon Bo and Furry Felon Daisy in my family library because they don't have thumbs, so they can't work Kindles. So I can't like full on show you how to do that, but that's where you would do that. So just go to Manage Family Library. You click on that, and over here you would get the option to send the book to somebody in your family library. So and then, you just manage it like normal. Now, let's go back to Libby. And I don't know if I showed y'all this before because like I said, we had to go outside for our comfort break and I got a little wacky jawed about what we were doing, but now I can. So I'm going to go to my books. I'm going to go to my loans. I'm going to go back to Nicked. I'm going to go to Manage Loan. I'm going to say Return Early, Return with Kindle. And you can either do this in your Kindle or I can do it from here. So, and now I'm going to go into here and I'm going to hit, see, return it now. Return it now. Oh, wait. When you return, it will be removed. Yes. Words, 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 in other words. Hopefully that's done. There it goes. Now look. See the little, did I show you guys this before? The little, watch, the little flower shower. I love that. When you return a book early, you get a flower shower because you're doing a kindness so the next person can check it out. So many, many, many books are, like you can either read it in your Libby app. There's like a Libby reader, or you can read it on a Kindle. So if it's not compatible with Kindles, which many of them are, but some just aren't, then you can just read it in your Libby app. And so here's a little trick. I don't know that I've ever done this, but if you're reading a book on your Kindle and it's due back and you're not quite done with it yet, rumor has it, and y'all are probably like, of course you've done that. I've really never done this, and I'll tell you how I can make you believe I've never done this in just a second. But if you put your Kindle in airplane mode, it won't return the book. So you can put it in airplane mode, you can still turn your pages, highlight stuff, do whatever. but if it's in airplane mode, then it won't communicate with the server. And you can finish reading your book without it returning it. And I've been led to believe that your library will still get the book back. It just won't pull it off your Kindle. I don't know if that's true or not. Like I said, I've never done it. And here's how you can believe I've never done it. Because y'all, you know I'm psycho about my, hang on, I'll show you. My screen recording just turned itself off again. Let me start that back up. That's why I kind of hate doing this, because I'm always so nervous my screen recording is going to end. But look, I have a 924 day in a row reading streak on my Kindle. And theoretically, if you turn your thing in airplane mode and keep reading, when you turn it off of airplane mode, the Kindle will know that you read all those days. But y'all, I'm not willing to risk it. I'm not willing to risk my 924 day reading streak to ride dirty reading a book that I am late returning to the library. So I've been led to believe that that works, but I've never tried it. So anyway, I'm afraid to do it. All right, so I think we're almost done. I think I answered all of the questions I got on my Patreon. There was one question I got. I said before that I asked if anybody wanted to know about adding multiple cards to your Kobo or to your overdrive in your Kobo. Y'all, I knew how to do that. I was gonna show you in this video how to do that. And then I deleted it so that I could show you, and I can't get it to work again. So I don't know if they've changed something. It used to be if you logged in with an email and then used that to upload your cards, it was kind of like a sketchy workaround. I'm gonna keep working with it. And once I figure it out again, I'll do a video and show you, but for right now I can't get it to work. So I don't want to be like, well, here's how it's supposed to work, but I can't do it because I can't do it. So I've done it before, I will do it again. I just need to figure out what I'm doing wrong. So I'm sorry. Fortunately, I didn't tell anybody on Patreon that I was gonna do it, but I will do it and I will tell you, but for right now, I just can't get it to work. So let's go through just a couple more quick things on, I'm still in my Kindle. Let's go back to Libby. And let's go through settings. So go back to your menu, which is those like 3 little lines in the middle, and then scroll down to settings. And y'all, there's a bunch of stuff in here. So the first thing to look at is notifications. So Libby will do push notifications. So it'll let you know about things like if your Libby loan is expiring, if your hold is ready, if your hold is fixing to be ready, things like that. So those are all in here. You can go through and decide how you want it to notify you and what you want it to tell you. I really like this. I don't use any of these, but I think it's very cool that Libby is aware, or the designers of Libby are aware of these things. You can do under accessibility, if you need reduced color variation, reduced text variation, those kind of things, if motion affects you, you can set all of those things in here. I think that's very cool. Orientation locking, how long notices stay on your screen. If you want them to stay on a little longer to give you more time to read them. I just think the fact that they're cognizant that people have processing differences, I think is just absolute bomb. I have students who would be cringing right now if they watch my videos because I just said bomb. How you want to read your books, content controls, this is very cool. So Libby for kiddos, you can set how you want, like if your Libby is for your kiddos, how you want that to do, Libby for everyone, and then Libby for grownups. I love that the Libby for grownups it looks like a zombie to me. Is that a zombie? So yeah, you can do that in there. How you want it to handle downloads. How you want your navigation bar to show up. And then language, and then your other just general setting stuff is on here. So scroll about in your settings. One thing that I think is cool that I just found is in navigation, label icons. See down at the bottom, my little things say what they are. They don't have to. So I think by default they don't. And I turned them on just because I knew when I was talking, I would be looking at things and be like, yeah, that little building there, instead of calling it a library. Because sometimes when I'm talking to y'all, I'm like, ugh, and I can't think of the words I mean to use. But yeah, you can turn that off or turn it on, ever how you want it to look. But yeah, so go in, if you want to change things in your Libby, that gives you a bunch of control in there. And friends, I think that's it. I believe those are all of my tips and tricks for Libby that I wanted to share with you now. I know there are a bunch that probably that I don't know and that I didn't think to share. So let us know in the comments, which ones did I miss? Which ones do you love? And what questions do you have? What do you think Libby can do or should be able to do that we didn't talk about? Let us know in the comments. And if you want to be part, like I said, a bunch of these questions came from our friends over on Patreon. So if you want to be part of that conversation, come join us over at Patreon. The link will be in the description. Y'all, thank you so much for hanging out with me. If you made it this far, we are most definitely friends. So go ahead and like this video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and hit that notification bell so you can keep up with the shenanigans. I upload food and fitness videos over on Fit Danielle Eats the beginning of every week, with some book videos over here sprinkled in between. See you on the next one.